Okay, Gray Hair Gamer back with you today. Today we're going to do a little bit of a beginner guide for the Hunter Call of the Wild. Now this is a free game you can get with your Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And with it you have two hunting areas or reserves to choose from. Rangefinder in Europe, and the Leighton Lakes in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Now, as DLC, if you decide to buy the game and get the DLC, they've added quite a lot. There's Medvedtyaga, which is in Siberia. It's winter, snow. Virunga Savannah, which is in Africa, hunting lions, jackals, Cape buffalo, warthogs, etc. Parque Fernando in South America, I believe. Yukon Valley in Canada. Cuatro Colinas in Spain, Silver Ridge Peaks in Colorado, Te Arawana in New Zealand, and the brand new one, Rancho de la Roya in Mexico. But starting off today, you have access as a free player to Leighton Lakes and Rangefinder. So we're going to start off in Leighton Lakes, but we're going to start a brand new game so that we can explain all the game mechanics. Okay. So we're going to start a brand new game, reset all of my experience, everything, so that I would be a first-time player, just like you folks out there trying this game for the first time. So new game, we can be a male or female. We can choose what option we have, including the famous Hunter Remy Warren. There we go. And we're going to start at Leighton Lakes. So start game. Now it'll load up a bit and then there'll be an intro cutscene. Every hunting reserve has their own backstory and series of missions that you can go through. Really add a lot to the story and the adventure feel of the game.
Made it here in one piece. Welcome to the untamed wild. Name's Colton Locke, but everyone calls me Doc. I'm the warden up here, and I know just about every nook and cranny of this place. I heard this is your first time in the Pacific Northwest and Lake District. Well, this here's the best hunting reserve you'll find in 100 miles. I've been hunting here my whole life, and I still don't get tired of this place.
Okay, and he'll take us through a little tutorial.
Go ahead, look around. There's a lot to discover around here. Not just the big game. Let's see what you can do. Try to find an animal track around here.
Okay, move around using the left stick and look around using the right stick. The Hunter Mate, that's your little PDA, smartphone, whatever you want to call it. It gives you a little map and tells you about new missions. Okay, so on our Hunter Mate right now, we have to track and harvest your first animal. So we push A to accept that mission. Okay, now we're going to hit left bumper to bring up our weapons. And we're going to take a quick little walk through our inventory. Here we come up to our, we'll go to inventory. You can see they've started us off with a couple weapons. A Ranger 243 rifle with scope, a 12 gauge shotgun, and a 357 pistol, a set of binoculars. Later you will unlock range-finding binoculars, and a few animal calls. A roe deer, which is needed in Hirschfelden, but not here. A doe bleat caller, which we'll use for whitetail and blacktail. A predator jackrabbit caller, which we will use here for coyote and a scent blocker. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I use my binoculars a lot. So I put them in position 2. So then it's a very quick when I spot an animal to shift to a weapon on either side. Okay, back out of this. Now we're going to hit left or right on our D-pad to cycle between our inventory items. Or if you don't want to take the time to go between, you can push up on the D-pad and then left or right to select whatever it is you want. And we're going to select our binoculars. Now, to use it, left trigger, and we hold it. And something that no one told me, that when you are holding the left trigger, and then you push up or down on your D-pad, you can zoom in and out. This also works with your scopes. Okay, so now has the option there to spot the animal, and that'll give us a lot of information. It's a white-tailed deer. She's traveling, and she's a type 1 trivial. Now they will go from trivial, level 1, all the way up to level 9 mythic. And of course, the higher the number, the more reward for hunting that animal, as well as the difficulty. They will be a lot more alert and a lot easier to be spooked. Okay, ducks. Okay, we've discovered a rest zone. The zones are very important in this game. There are 3 types of zones: rest, eat, and drink. And when you discover a zone, it will tell you what type of animal is in that zone, how many usually go to that area, and what times they will be there. So you can kind of map out a schedule of where you will find whatever animals you want to look for. Okay, so we're going to move on up here a little bit. And since I don't want to scare this animal off, we're going to hit the B button and crouch. We will move slower, but we will make a lot less noise. Now, the 3 ways you can spook an animal is they can see you, they can hear you, or they can smell you. Right now, we are downwind of this animal. You can see this doe is to the north of us. And on our little compass in the bottom right-hand corner, you see the little green triangle behind us. That is an indication of which way the wind's blowing. And the green area is where an animal can smell me. It means it's downwind from me. So if this deer is out in front of us, he is not within that area. So we would have to get very, very close before he would smell us. If, however, that deer was standing here, he would be right in that cone, and he could smell us up to 100 meters away. So we're going to walk
I
up
spotted
here.
some tracks earlier, close to where you're at right now. I'll send the coordinates.
Now, these binoculars do not tell us how far away he is. Later on, we will unlock binoculars that do have a rangefinder. So for right now, we're going to select our 243 and zoom in. And we got a nice broadside shot. We're going to click the left stick to hold our breath and go right for a lung shot. Boom. Okay, so let's go up here and have a look. Yeah, we shot, so we scared off everything that's kind of in the way. Yep, there go the ducks. We spooked them. And we're going to walk up here and see if we can find a blood trail. Okay, now, that deer, I spotted him before we shot. So his blood spill and his tracks are highlighted. And in this case, they're highlighted green. Normal tracks are white. And if we go to our codex here, and we go down to System, Game Settings, and scroll down here to Active Tracks, we can change that color. Green, blue. Okay, you can see it's like a purple there now. Game Settings. Red, white, orange, yellow, lime, bright green. And you can adjust that individually for each map to get the best view. Okay, so let's have a look here. Oh, that's a nice big blood splatter, so that means we probably hit a vital organ. Yep, vital organ hit, and it just happened. Very fresh. So we're going to follow his tracks. If we examine this, it gives us a cone out front of where he went. You know, it could have gone this way, it could have gone off that way, or it could have gone off that way. There is a perk later on that will narrow this cone and give you a more precise indication of where he went. And now here's some blood. Okay, high bleed rate, that's good. It means he won't be traveling very far. Now you do not have to examine each and every track. Up, and there she is. So she did not go very far at all. So when we get in range, there it changed. We can confirm our trophy.
You want to get your bearings. There are lookout points spread out all over the reserve.
Okay, that was the caretaker there giving us our next mission. But let's take a look here at our harvest screen. Tells us a lot of information. Looking here on the left, this is considered a class 4 animal. And now that's important because your ammunition will also have a class. And if you use like a very large caliber bullet on a very small animal, you will not get your full benefits of experience and money, whatnot. But this one's just fine. This was a female, 40 kilograms, normal common fur type. There will be rare types of fur, including albino, melanistic, which are very dark, piebald, etc. She only ran 45 meters before she dropped. We do not get a trophy for her because it's a female. Trophy rating, you can see right below that, 0. And it gives you the ratings that you need to get silver, gold, or diamond. Here's our harvest check. There are some missions where you are required to take an animal and pass all the harvest checks. That means using the proper ammo, not just filling it full of lead 2 times or less. Intact trophy organs, which is the head, horns, etc. If you want to taxidermy the bust of a deer, you don't want to go putting a bullet in it and hit 1 or more vital organs. Now, if you look on the right, you'll see information from the hit, what weapon it was, the Ranger 243, what ammo we were using, soft point bullets, from a distance of 42 meters, and we hit the flesh and the left lung. And by using the right stick, we can scroll around here. So the left lung, that was our vital organ. Later on, we will unlock the 243 polymer tip bullets, which have a lot more penetration, and on a shot of this type would penetrate through and hit both lungs. We can, down in the bottom right, you can see we can taxidermy this animal for 2,500 game money, but we only have 500. We can save the harvest by hitting X, which means once later down the road, when we save up 2,500, we can come back and taxidermy this if we want, or we can just accept it, which is what we'll do. Okay, here comes our cash reward, our XP reward, which is for us as a character, and our rifle score. Now, there are the 2 ways you level up in this game. You level up yourself as a hunter, which unlocks perks and different benefits, and then you also level up your weapon. There are 4 classes of weapons: rifle, pistol, shotgun, and bow. And when you get experience in your different weapons, it unlocks bigger and better weapons, better sights, better ammunition, etc. Okay, so we completed that mission, and if we go to our codex here, go up to our mission log, you can see completed missions. The first steps: locate a track, shoot an animal, and harvest an animal. We completed that. Okay, our mission now is getting the lay of the land, which means visit a lookout point. It's like a fire watch tower. And it is, if we hit the select button on our map, we will see that it is right up here. Lookout Point, Beaumont Eastern Lookout Point. 9 minutes by foot, and it gives the map coordinates. Okay, now, while we're on the map here, you can zoom in and out, and you can see the areas on these reserves are very large. They will take you quite a bit of time to get around. They will also tell us here there was the last animal, what we spotted, and our current position. Now, this pink area here is what's called hunting pressure. That means we've shot and killed an animal in this area. It's a very light color right now, but if we were to shoot another and kill another animal in this area, it would get darker. 2 animals shot and killed in this area, darker still, etc., etc. It's very important because now that we have some hunting pressure in this area, any other animals that we encounter in this area are going to be a lot more alert and a lot easier to spook. Now, as we go and hunt animals in other areas, the hunting pressure here will slowly reduce until it disappears and it's back to normal. But for right now, we want to proceed on here to our next story mission, which is up here. And say, let's go somewhere here. If we go on our map and we click A, we can place a waypoint to keep ourselves from getting lost. And now if we put it in the wrong spot, you just hit A again, and you can place a waypoint which will replace the previous, so you can only have one, or we can remove it completely. Okay, but we want to place one. I use these all the time to keep from getting lost, keep myself on track if I'm out exploring, etc.
There are times when you'll want to be moving fast out here, but not when on a hunt. The animals will hear you coming a mile away.
Okay, what he means by that is there's 3 different ways to get around. There's normal walking. There's clicking the left stick to run faster, but you make a lot more noise. Or pushing B to crouch down, walk slower, but a lot quieter. Okay, and you can tell the quietness down in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, or the screen. You will see the little speaker. Right now I'm holding still. There is nothing. So I'm being totally quiet. I move a little bit here. You see 2 little bars. Okay? That means that animals have to be very close, 5 to 10 meters away to hear me. If I stand up and walk normally, there I'm making 3 bars more noise. And if I run, there I'm making 1 red bar. The red bars are bad. That means animals can be within 100 meters and still hear me. Now another time you have to watch out when you're making noise is going through brush. Watch when I hit this tree. It immediately jumps up to 2 red bars. So that means any animal within 200 meters just heard me crash through that brush. Now if I crouch and do the same thing again, there I'm only making 1 red bar. Okay? And there are perks later on that we will unlock that will reduce the amount of noise as we crouch and go through the brush. But there you can see our waypoint up here, our little guidepost, and we're going to head on up here. We're going to walk normally. And there is our lookout tower. That's our objective. So let's head on up here. Oh, here's a track. Okay, you can see this is just white. We have not selected it yet. Let's examine it. Let's see. Oh, there's a black-tailed deer. And it headed off that direction. Now, again, later on there will be perks that will unlock a lot more information when you examine tracks. It will tell you the weight, approximate
Did you
weight.
hear that? Calls are really helpful when locating an animal.
Okay, it'll tell you the approximate weight of the animal, the health of the animal, etc. So let's go on up here towards our next mission. Now you can see in the bottom right hand corner the little heart icon. It's starting to beat a little faster, and eventually up there it starts to turn red. That means I'm getting out of breath. So that if I were to stop and get out my rifle, you can see it's very, very wobbly. A lot of movement. It's going to be very hard to lock on to an animal. Now let's see, my heart rate has calmed down now. Now you can see there's a lot less motion. Okay, so we made it to that waypoint. Let's select our map, and we'll guide us up here to our mission objective, the tower. Now, there are a couple ways you can gain experience and level up in this game. One, obviously, hunting and recovering the animals. If you shoot at an animal and let it run off to die somewhere, and you don't go pick up the body, you do not get any experience, you do not get any money, anything. The second way is like we're doing right now, we're doing one of the story missions. And the third way is exploring and unlocking things. Now you'll see this up here in front of me with the green icon, this stone pillar. That is what they call like a lore item. It has some tidbit of information about the area or the history. This kind of gives you more backstory, makes the game feel a lot more immersive. So we're going to activate that by coming up here and checking it out. It's a point of interest, a written note. Left this note here for someone to find. Whoever you are, walk in peace. Go north to find the closest outpost. You can't miss the curious tombstones close by. Okay, an outpost is a hunting camp where you can rest, you can change items in your inventory, and also has a little store where you can stock up on ammunition, purchase new weapons, new gear, etc. Okay, so up here is our tower, and here's the famous Beaumont Railroad. And you always want to be scoping around while you're hunting, because you never know when something's going to step out of the woods right down there. Oh, and the outposts, which we'll discover soon, also allow us to fast travel. That if we get out in the middle of the wilderness and... Oh, there we heard something. What was that? There, track animal call. Oh, there's a black-tailed deer. Now, he will give two types of calls. There's a warning call, which means he detected us. And since I was running, probably means he heard us. Or he could have seen us, or even smelled us. Another type is a mating call. And in that case, they're just looking for another one of their own kind and have not detected you. Okay, so we don't see anything, so he must be further off in the forest there. So we're not going to track him down right now. Oh, there he's calling again. The same animal. See, he heard us probably. Even at this distance, they can hear you from a long way away. Ooh, something was up here. What track do we have here? That looks like a bear track. Yes, it was. It was a black bear and headed off down that way. Now, when you examine tracks, you can't tell how new or old they are. But if you follow along this a little bit and find a pile of poo, the poo will tell you whether it was fresh or old. See, that was that same animal. So, okay, we made it to our mission objective. Let's go and remove the waypoint. And yes, you have to climb to the top. And yes, if you were to fall off of this, you would die. Falling will damage, and in some cases kill you. Which there's no real penalty for dying in this game. You just get sent back to the nearest outpost. Okay, so here we are. There we go. Survey. Lookout points.
Would you look at that view? Never gets old, I'm telling you. From up here, you can see a lot of great hunting spots in the area. Valmont's not only where Hope set up camp, it's also famous for the railroad bridges along the old North Pacific line. Keep an eye out for them if you can in between blacktail hunting. Or, why not use them as vantage points? I once bagged a whitetail from the Runaki Bridge. Be sure to stop by one of the outposts. You can find pretty much anything you need there.
Okay, so our next mission is to find an outpost, which is with the little house icon. So we're going to put a waypoint there so we know where we're going. And you can see they did a wonderful job with the graphics on this game. And what's nice is the way you see these lakes and trees at this distance, when you walk out there, it will be exactly the same. And you can also check out the fire tower. Open the door. Whoop. Trying to stop running. Etc., etc. Now, sometimes they'll have missions where they'll have you come recover things from these towers, from the outposts, what have you. But that's about it for this one. So we're going to go ahead and proceed and get to our first outpost. Okay, so there's our marker, 304 meters, and we should have a trail right here in front of us. Yes, right there. Okay, so I'm going to keep my binoculars out, and what's one big difference between your rifle? Okay, if we zoom in with our rifle, you can see there's a little wobble there. The longer we hold this rifle up, they're not light. They can be pretty heavy. It will get more and more erratic the longer you hold. Okay. With binoculars, they stay steady no matter how long. And yes, you can move around while zoomed in, and same with being zoomed in with your rifle. You can still move around, crouch, etc. Okay. Just say that's why I like to have my inventory set up to where I have my binoculars at position 2, and then if I see something, I will have like a large caliber weapon at position 1 and a small caliber weapon at position 3. So if I'm going along and I see a moose, which is a large animal, boom, one click, I got my big gun. Or if I'm with my binoculars and I see a coyote or a rabbit or a duck, something small, boom, one position to the right, I have my small caliber weapon. Just makes it very, very quick. Okay, so let's scoot on down the trail here and get to our first outpost. Some more tracks, another bear. And in time, playing this game, you will get to know the tracks just by looking at them. At least what type of animal it is. You will get to know some of the animal calls, which as a hunter myself are very, very realistic. And you will get to know some of the areas in the maps. Just like if you were... Now that was a coyote. He was out there somewhere. That was a mating call, so he did not detect us. So if we were to go try to track him down and hunt him, he would not be aware that we were coming. But if you look at our compass, you will see that green cone is pointing the same direction pretty much that animal was in. So he would probably be able to smell us, and if we use our scent blocker, right there it is. Now we would be good for about a half hour of game time, not real time, game time. I try not to use the scent blocker too much because they're expensive. They're very expensive. It's cost $3,000, and you get 10 sprays out of a can. And you can see walking causes a lot of damage to your accuracy. And you can hip fire as well. Just pull off the trigger. Oh, there I spooked something. Okay, now we only have 3 shots left in our magazine. Down in the bottom right, we have 45 rounds total, and we want to hit Y to reload the magazine. Okay. Like I said, the detail on this game is just top notch. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, there's our cabin. That looks like, yep, that would be our hunting outpost. And each one of these that we unlock grants us experience, and like I said, also the ability to fast travel. So let's unlock this. And all you do is walk up to it. There we go, claim. You'll see they add facilities.
Place, right? You won't find a soft bed in many parts around here. Don't forget to stock up before heading out.
Okay, we completed our mission. Cash reward 1,000. XP reward 250. Okay, so now the different symbols inside here is a bed, and that lets you reset the time that we hunt all day and it gets dark out, and I don't want to hunt in the night. I come back to one of these outposts, any one of them.
If you ever
Go
need
inside.
a place to rest, there's a cabin in each outpost. I had them gutted and redone last season. Hey there, you know that guy I mentioned earlier, Hope? Well, looks like he's been having a bit of a problem lately. He's been camping out over at Balmont a couple weeks, but coming back last night, he found his camp turned on its head. Some food was taken, and apparently the place looked like it had been really messed with. I don't know if it was an animal or some tourist troublemakers, but I'm up in Topeka all day and can't look into it. Listen, I know you probably have other plans, but you're in the right neck of the woods, and I'd sure be grateful if you could just stop on by and have a look.
Okay, so that's our next mission, to go check on that guy. But we were talking about resting. Okay, come up here to the bed.
Hope showed up here
You rest.
2 years ago. Said something about getting off the grid. I heard he lost his family in an accident while he was deployed overseas in the army. Hit the poor guy hard. I guess out here you only need to look out for yourself. It's easier that way. Not the most cheerful fella, to be honest, but he's earned his peace for sure. Let's find out whoever did this.
Okay, and they like to talk a lot in the game. Okay, so here we are at the bed, and we can set the clock up or down, whatever we want it. So if we wanted to set it to the morning, like 6 o'clock, 6:51, set it for 6 a.m., 5 a.m., what have you. Or once you get to learn the animals and what times they go to different areas, you can customize that. Now it does cost money to rest, $2.50, and we're early in the morning yet, so we're going to cancel. And if we look on our map, up in the upper left hand corner, we'll see it's 13:56 or almost 2 in the afternoon. So we have quite a while to go until dark. What else we have here at our camp, like I said, is the ability to fast travel. If we were out here in the middle of nowhere, what we would do is open the map, place our icon here, and there you see now we have fast travel. And that'll teleport us directly back to that station. You see, I can't do that just anywhere, only on the hunting camps. Okay. Now, another important thing we have here is our storage, lockers, cache, whatever you want to call it. Now what we have here is we have access to a store where we can buy new weapons, and you see these are all redded out. One, like here, for this 223 requires $6,000. I only have 3,700, and it requires a rifle score of 280, which my rifle score is only 49. And the bigger caliber you get, the more expensive and higher rifle scores required. Like for this one, the 300 Canning Magnum, it's one of the biggest weapons in the game, one of the biggest rifles. So it costs $75,000 and requires a rifle score of over 6,000. And they do come with different stocks on them. Like this one, there's a choice of 2, a natural or a graphite. 7mm. A couple lever actions of 45, 70, and also 30-30. Now you'll see some of these are free with DLC because I bought a lot of the DLC. But I'm not going to pick them up right now. I want to give everybody the experience of being just a free player. Here's muzzle loaders, black powder rifles that you get with one DLC. M1 is one of the best rifles in the game. There's our Ranger 243. This is a 45 caliber air rifle, like a BB gun, but big. And it is very good. It will take down 80% of the animals in this game. 22 long rifle. Go back. Here we have our handguns, shotguns, our bows and arrows. Then you have ammo, which we want to go stock up a bit on. Some 243. Now these 243, they're soft point and then polymer tip. And you can see I need a rifle score of 1,000 to unlock the polymer tips. The big difference is, if you look on the right there, the penetration. The soft points we're using now only have a penetration of 15. And that deer we shot it only penetrated enough to puncture one lung. When we upgrade to the polymer tips, it has over double the penetration, from 15 to 35. That will be the difference between a single lung hit and a double lung hit. When you hit both lungs, that animal is going to drop very quickly. It also tells us here our effective range, which you can shoot further than the effective range, but you will lose energy the further you go. And also the class of animal. You can see it here by the little icons up by the picture of the bullets. Shows a little icon of a pig, a coyote, a deer, a bear, and a moose. So, and the 243s are free. We have 48 of them. So we're going to stock up since they're free. There is no, you can carry as many bullets as you can afford. It only matters the weight when you're carrying weapons and calls and whatnot. Okay, there's our handgun ammo, shotgun ammo, our different arrows. Now, with arrows, your grain, 300 grain small game point bolt. Now that's for a crossbow, it's a bolt. 300 grain is a very light arrow designed for very small animals. You can see recommended classes 1 to 2. If we jump up to a 400 grain, there, that recommended class is 2 to 7. It's a little heavier. It packs a little more punch when you fire one. And then there's 540 grain. There you can see the recommended classes going up. 600 grain and 700 grain is the heaviest. They're the heaviest arrow, the biggest punch, but also have the shortest range. We also have rifle sights, handgun sights, shotgun sights, bow sights, lures. You can see they're kind of expensive. Scents, which you use just like your scent blocker, except this will draw in a certain type of animal. Decoys, and consumables is very important too. Now you have your doggy biscuits, because there is a DLC where you can get a bloodhound animal companion. First aid kits, important when a lion comes and mauls you. And more scent eliminator. And like I said, there's $3,000 for 10 uses. You also have clothing, makes zero difference in the game, purely cosmetic. Backpacks. I personally don't use a backpack. They do allow you to carry increased capacity, like this backpack, additional carrying capacity of 6, but also increases the amount of noise you make, and increases how visible you are to the animals. So I found a way where I don't need to use backpacks. Here's our binoculars. You can see our normal ones that we're using now. The one I normally use is this. It has a rangefinder. Tells us the distance so we can adjust our aim, but we have to be a level 11 before we can get that. Then there's also tents you can get, which act just like our hunting outpost here. Has a store, has our storage, and allows us to fast travel. And you can have up to, I believe it's 10 tents deployed out in an area. But you can see they're rather expensive, $16,000. What's nice with the tent is, opposed to the hunting outpost, they're in a permanent position, the outpost. When you take a tent, you can plop it down at spot A and decide later, I don't like having this tent here. You can pick it up, put it back in your inventory, run off to spot B, and plop the tent down there. They are not fixed. You can move them. Here you also have ground blinds, like for hunting ducks and whatnot, to keep you invisible to the animals. And they also block your scent. 80% of your scent is blocked, I believe, when you're in a blind or a tree stand or hunting stand. And there you do have a tree stand you can unlock and place and move just like the tents. Tripod stands you can pick up, you can place, pick up later, but those you have to get from a DLC. Okay, also we have our storage. Now this here on the left is what is in our inventory, or in our locker. We have the choice to use, and on the right is our inventory. So now if I go over here, I'm not going to use, I'm not big on shotguns. So you can see right now, you watch, my total carrying capacity is going to drop. Now I'm carrying less weight. I have a limit of 20 that I can carry. And so since I stored away the shotgun, I might as well store away the ammunition too. That also reduces a bit of weight. And then it comes down to our calls, which you can see you get quite a bit from your DLC. We don't need the roe caller right now because that's in Hirschenfeld and there are no roe deer on this map. Our scent eliminator is equipped. Our binoculars are equipped. Now watch, if I equip a tent, watch my carrying capacity. Jumped up to 13. I can't carry 2 tents, I would be over. And there it drops back down to 7. And yeah. So now I think this is a pretty good place. We're in about an hour of this video. I think this is a good place to stop. Our next episode, we will continue on with our missions. We will find out what happened to that guy and his camp. There's definitely some kind of mystery there. And we'll see how many more animals we can bag along the way. Thanks for tuning in to the Gray Haired Gamer. We'll see you hopefully next time. And please give a like or a comment. We're doing our best here to try and bring you some high quality games, some high quality guides. So until next time, thanks a lot, and we'll see you later.